What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe. This is EVE Online, and I'm going to walk you through some of the Crimson Harvest events, two specifically in two separate videos. Okay, that was unexpected. So, basically, what I was going to say is there are 5 basic waves, and this thing is starting faster than I had anticipated. But anyway, there's 5 basic waves in the Gauntlet. I figured I'll start with the Gauntlet and go from there. Normally when you warp in, there's only two to four frigates that are in the area. And let's see. Yeah, nobody's been here. Okay. And once you kill them, another probably 2 to 4 frigates and 1 or 2 cruisers will show up. And after that, you have this banana looking thing. If we scroll out, you can see this thing over here, this big Mars station type thing that you can get into. So let me back it up a step. If you want to do these events, I didn't anticipate this thing starting as quickly as it did, but if you want to start these events, look in the space that you're in for a beacon, which is this little triangular icon down on the right, called Crimson Harvest Fields or Crimson Gauntlet. And you can also find those if you open up your agency, and there's an item here, Crimson Harvest, and also you'll be able to find event sites that are specific to to each of these. So if you click on Crimson Harvest, you'll see what your various point rewards are. I just need to maintain my my wife is doing some baking, so I apologize if you can hear the beaters going in the background. But anyway, you can track your points here or over here on the left side of the screen under your sort of, I'm not sure what part of this display this is called, but instead of having to open your agency and then click to select, yes, I've killed 10, and to get the points from it, you can just click over here. So I'm flying a Macarial. You're going up against drones, and so you should outfit yourself accordingly. I would recommend bringing a let's turn this off, a mobile tractor unit of some kind, because ships are going to be dropping all over the place and you're going to want what they have. So drop one. I orbit mine at 10. It's up to you to figure out what makes the most sense for you, but be careful going into these. They dish out a lot of damage. So again, the first time when you warp in, usually there will be 2 frigates. Once you destroy those, that's like the first and entry wave. It may take a few seconds, or in my case, it might not take any time at all. But once you kill those, a second wave will come just by you being there. And that'll have a couple cruisers and then a handful of frigates. Now, once that's done, and once we're cleared with all of these frigates that are out here now, I'm not even firing my guns at them because they're too close, and I'm leaving it up to my drones. But while they clear that, you'll note that there's this structure out here, and I've got on my overview here, I've got large collidable objects shown, and if you do, that's great. You can just select one of these and these shielding projectors, and that will spawn the next wave. If you don't, if you just hold control and left click drag over the banana, you'll actually target the thing that you need anyway, which is this cookhouse shielding projector. So these event sites are pretty bad at destroying. This is not going according to plan. These things spawned on their own. Alright, well, we'll kill them. And then, anyway, these sites are good at destroying drones. So be very careful with your drones out to pay attention. And the Filth Raker cruisers have newts, and most of the frigates do webbing. Specifically, I think the bottom feeders, but they both seem to. So there seem to be a number of waves here. I've done a ton of these, and this is the first time that a bunch of spawns have happened right at the very beginning. But it's good to see that there's some element of randomness to it. But there is a lot of damage output that comes with each of these sites if you're not careful. Like if I had at the very beginning popped one of these shielding things, I would have been a sad panda, as it spawns quite a few things. And then if I flew towards this, there's also a proximity spawn by getting close to the banana. So couple points: don't fly close to the banana until you're ready, and don't spawn the next wave until everything is clear. It's just, you can get yourself into trouble pretty quickly. And on more than one occasion, I've warped into one of these things and seen the wreck of a T3 cruiser who came before me, or just some random ship that somebody brought in here and thought they would be fine to run it in. Like I said before, I'm running this in a Macarial or a battleship. It's not a cheap battleship either, the way I've got it outfitted. So it's doable unless you just have to be careful. People do these in Gilas, and I know that there is a preferred way to pronounce that, and I don't like that. So, all right, so we've killed those first sort of preliminary waves of enemies, and I believe nothing will spawn until I shoot one of these out. So just to look at this, so there I can click claim reward over here, and you see how one of the options is to defeat Crimson Harvest commanders. Those commanders are the battle cruiser or destroyers that spawn once you destroy this shielding projector. So let me do that. I pop one, it destroys all three, and then a bunch of ships show up. So yeah, we'll just target a bunch of things. So the Scum Lords are the battleships. This Splendor Cook, that's the battle cruiser, and that's the commander of this wave. Once you kill the commander, you have the potential of spawning the next wave. So leave that for last, unless somebody is in here trying to snake your kills, in which case go ahead and try to kill it because it's worth a bunch of points. Here we go. We got everybody's targeting me. We'll get my drones out. I have personally found that my light drones don't draw any aggro, whereas my medium drones do. So I don't pull out medium drones anymore. I just pull out light drones, let them deal with the frigates, and I shoot out the rest. So, nope, you drones get on the frigates. They're relatively slow in doing so. My drone skills are maxed out, so it's not like I'm totally lacking. But yeah, so this is the first wave. The commanders, so to speak, are pretty resilient. So you're going to spend more damage than you might think taking them down, especially this Splendor Cook fellow. But yeah, that's the long and short of it. So to speed things up for myself, I then start going out and grabbing loot. I won't do that on this video just because, we're more talking about how to get through this safely. We got our drones engaged. That's good. But yeah, keep your eye on your cap. This is just like running a mission. Be aware of other ships in your vicinity. If you are in null or if you are in high sec and you expect somebody to attack you, then yeah, keep your head on a swivel. I say that because when you're running these sites, especially early on, everybody wants to run them, and people will just show up and just start shooting stuff, even if you've started there already. And it's not, you can let yourself get as agitated by it as you want, I guess. Some people get really upset and call you names and then start shooting your wrecks or looting them or whatever. People are stupid. And if they do that, or if you decide that you are angry enough to do that, it will make you a suspect, and then not only can they, but all of anyone in the zone can come attack you without fear of retribution from Concord. And you don't want that. So, or at least they probably don't want that, and you don't. But I've had people do that anyway. I didn't want to risk my expensive site-running ship. So now I'm going to expect a wave to spawn with a destroyer in it. The first one is that Splendor Cook fellow. I'll pull my drones in because sometimes they get you know, one shot by a lucky cruiser or something. But we'll claim our reward even though there's no point at this point. There we go. There's the next spawn. There's our destroyer, and that's the commander of this of this wave. Yep, we can stop that. We'll reload that. And yeah, so the destroyer does a significant amount of damage here. So it's not a bad idea to take them out first, or early anyway, because once you get through this wave, then the only thing that's left is the proximity wave if you haven't triggered that yet. So I'll get my drones back on the frigates because they're slow to go down, and I'm not terribly concerned about the damage output just because I manage it with my shield booster. So that's pretty much the long and short of it. I'll then fly towards the banana once this wave is done, spawn the last wave, and go about my business. I should save the location of my MTU in case I forget to grab it on my way out, like I did yesterday. And then I got a kill report for my MTU earlier today. So don't be like me. Pick up your MTU, bookmark it when you drop it, and yeah, you'll be happier. So to go back to, like, I haven't been mining, and I don't have a mining tab on here. I don't think that there are any asteroids here to mine, but if you are into industry and mining, you're going to want to go to the Crimson Harvest Fields, and I'll have my next video be on that, since that's a very different beast, and you'll want to be pretty careful about what you do there and how you do it. I don't need to blow my capacitor on that anymore. Alright, pull my drones back in, and then I'll just fly indiscriminately towards this station. And maybe there are... No, it's just a wreck. Alright, well, so initially I thought that maybe there was like a proximity spawn to this Blood Raider lookout, this thing. And you can't attack either of these. But yeah, I don't need to target that. But I don't think that's the case. I think that there's a first spawn, couple frigates, 2 to 4. Second spawn just by being here, and it can be as big as like 4 frigates and 2 cruisers. Once that's gone, usually, clearly with some exceptions, usually there won't be any more spawns until you destroy one of these shielding objects around the banana. Then you get 2 more waves. The first wave with the Deathglow Splendor Cook, and he's your commander. There are anywhere from 1 to 2, I think, battleships, 2 to 4 cruisers, and like maybe 2 to 6 or 2 to 4 frigates. Next wave is 1 or 2 battleships again, 2 or 3 cruisers, that destroyer who's your commander, and a few more frigates there. So I suspect, especially based on how close I am to the banana now, that what really happened is I accidentally triggered that proximity spawn because I don't know, maybe it was the orbit of my around my, what's it called? The orbit around my MTU was like took me close enough, but I think that what may have actually happened is I warped in through the banana, and that triggered a delayed response of that proximity spawn. So right now, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so we'll just grab that loot. Thank you for watching, and this is the Crimson Gauntlet of the Crimson Harvest event. And if you have challenges with this, don't worry. I think that that's probably par for the course, and just be careful, do it safely, and I think you can do it successfully. So check out the next video for the Crimson Harvest Fields site information, and we will go from there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.